but they know that it's a gamble that nobody wants to take. Who won't gamble am? Ask the Igbos and say, yeah, we will do referendum for you. Contract con rigam. The people that said there will be no election in Anambra, there will be no election, this and that, shouldn't you be sitting down to negotiate with them and say, you know what? Oh yeah, let's go do the referendum. If Nnamdi Kanu is allowed to stay in Nigeria for 2 years, Hausa people will be asking for referendum. If Nnamdi Kanu is allowed, if Oloye Sunday Igboho, if these two people are just allowed to just go and mind their business, no fight, no nothing, no. Just when they say Nnamdi Kanu is coming to Port Harcourt, even with the wiki, we have to go and sit at home. Some of you have no idea who he was. When Nnamdi Kanu moves, military, roadblock, everybody, they move away. Some of them, they became friendly with him as he is approaching. And he's not somebody that will sit in his car and say they see military. Military are blocking the road there. And Nnamdi Kanu is coming with all the Biafrans behind him. And he is coming. I have videos of all this, though. That's why I share this one with you. Such person is operating in a place where you have terrorists in charge. If not, you will sit down with him. You will begin conversation with him. Wait, come. What is that thing where they make you angry? You won't leave. He stated them repeatedly. The first negotiation you will do is that you see all those discrimination, all those profiling, everything will just stop. Bam! Like magic. That's what you call negotiation. But they didn't value him. And the wreck that is now upon them, they still want to blame him. You kidnapped him. You keep him somewhere. You kidnapped him illegally. You extradited him illegally. You are keeping him in detention illegally. Because you have no legal backing to even bring him to that country in the first place. You kidnapped him. That is called extraordinary rendition. Now you are still afraid to take him to your court because you are looking for somebody that will just say he's guilty. Go and kill him. If Nnamdi Kanu is walking, there is no authority. Forget it. For those who remember that time, if these two guys should stay in 2 years, people will be so bold enough, to say, Oyamo Okuku finish everything. And people will finish everything. I witnessed those periods. But what did they do? They decided to go and kill him. Same thing happened to Oloye Sunday Igboho. They did the rally in Oyo. They did the rally in Oshogbo. In Osun State. They did the rally in Ekiti. They were going to do the rally in Lagos State. And they saw how people responded, how people reacted. Even all the area boys, everybody supported Oduduwa. The protests, the rallies. And they were like, kill him. That's what they said to Nnamdi Kanu. Kill him. Don't arrest him. Don't even try to arrest him. If you try to arrest him, those people will say they would want to die. Don't arrest him. Kill him. If you see him one-on-one, kill him. Then he ran for his life to fight another day. If they had killed him, how many of you today will be as strong as Biafrans as you are the day Nnamdi Kanu resurfaced after a year? Nobody will say he's dead, he's not dead, he's dead, he's not dead, he's dead, he's not dead. Then boom, Nnamdi Kanu came out. How did you feel that day when you received that news? That's exactly why you can run to fight another day, especially when you are dealing with murderous criminals who cares no nothing. Negotiate with them. You don't negotiate with terrorists, but you negotiate with freedom fighters. Because at the end of the day, you are going to end up on the negotiation table. And like one of our greatest contributors on Mayegun's Diary Politico, Elder Olaoluwa, he said, at the end of the day, if Nigeria, those who are going to resolve Nigeria problem, they are going to resolve Nigeria problem outside Nigeria. Those who are going to break Nigeria they will break Nigeria into pieces from outside Nigeria, but it will be after people have killed themselves. We are praying that you are able to avoid that, and you have a role to play as a young person watching this broadcast tonight. Back in the East again, people are praying for Nnamdi Kanu. They love him. They do. Bukwari snatched him from them. Those are the people that will vote if you put a ballot before them to vote for Nigeria or to vote for Biafra. And we continue to demand for his freedom. Unconditional release. You will negotiate with him. Nigeria is going to sit with him. Nigeria will be forced to the table to sit down with him and ask Biafrans respectfully, what can we do to make it up to you? And Nnamdi Kanu will respectfully reply, give us referendum, respectfully. And this won't be too much to ask for. They ask for referendum. Nigeria gave them bullets, bodies of innocent people piled up just to say no to referendum. And I don't think until Nigeria realizes that the Biafrans are given their referendum, Oduduwans are given their referendum, everyone that is going to ask for referendum will get their referendum. In fact, all of you are going to ask for referendum. Guess what? Just like right now, that many of you are asking for freedom. Freedom from political chicaneries, political hooliganism, political hoodlums. Freedom from this contraption. Freedom and get a better country, as some of you are saying. Others are saying, we want freedom from complete freedom from this whole contraption. We don't want to be part of it anymore. Give us Oduduwa nation. Give us Biafra. But I've told all of you that at the end of the day, what are you looking for? Freedom. So, just like I said now, referendum. You would one day all agree that the problem is not anything invincible. It is that trashy, worthless booklet called the 1999 Constitution. You will ask for referendum. You will ask for it. Referendum is a new word, right, to you, but it's not new. But one day, soon, you all ask for it. We want a new constitution. And in the moment of asking for a new constitution with a referendum, you are going to ask for a referendum to determine who actually still want to be part of Nigeria. Well, I'll give you the time. We will give you all the time you need. Nigeria will force you to that conclusion soon. There is no gainsaying that those who are part of who started the problem, they can never be part of the solution. Werewike told you in a point blank, and he said, is there anything called Nigeria, right? Is there anything at all?
You have a child that's 61 years old. In the next 1 week or 5 days next week, Nigeria will be 61 years old. 61 years. So many people celebrate. When you get to 60 years, they celebrate. I thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Now Nigeria will be 61 years old. Nigeria is 61 years old. The only way we can say God will thank you is because there still appears the name called Nigeria. That's why we're thanking God. There still appears the name called Nigeria. But indeed, is there anything called Nigeria? Indeed, a country 61 years, old man of 61 years, full of enmity, full of division, hatred. 61 years old. Nigeria is still talking about enmity, hatred, division. 61 years old. You hate a state because of an individual. 61 years old child. You discriminate against some people because of their religion, because of where they come from. 61 years old. That's Nigeria. And we're clapping hands, Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. 61 years old. Where is the legislature? 61 years old. Where is the legislature? A legislature that cannot think. A legislature, anything they bring is right. A legislature that cannot say that Nigeria has gotten to the age of conducting a free and fair election. A legislature that cannot say that Nigeria has gotten to the age of conducting a free and fair election. A legislature that will close their eyes anytime they bring money, borrow, you borrow. Legislature that will not, this money we are giving you to borrow, where is it? Where are you applying it? 61 years old. The giant of Africa. Giant. 61 years old, giant of Africa. The money we are saying borrow, where are you applying it? You have no Congress to ask questions. You have a Congress, anything goes, anything they can do. Nothing will happen.
Charlie boy. What is that Charlie boy say our mumu don't too much? Charlie boy, now your mumu not too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise. You are a mumu man. You are a mumu man. And then throw the tear gas if for something way bad for issue.
61 years old. This is the one I actually wanted to say. 70
years old man. But
70 years old man. 70-year-old man. Nigeria will soon be 70, Abi. If you survive 70, maybe not like this is gonna be. There's let me see, where's that file? I want to see if I can share that with you. By the time Nigeria would never turn 70, right? No, I don't have it. Sorry, don't worry. Anyway, you know the best, right? What works for you, go for it. For those who are standing up, standing firm, speaking out, speaking up, and then being counted, I want to say thank you to all of you. Keep doing what you are doing. You are standing for something. It's better to stand for nothing and then fall for anything. And that is why we have to respect those who have stood up to speak against this tyranny, speak against this dictatorship, speak against this terrorism, and all this, every of the sim that comes with all this evil government in Nigeria. You may not know what you are doing. You may not, well, you do know what you are doing, but you may not know the effect of what you are doing. Just like you do tell me in that time, you don't know what you are doing. I know what I'm doing. I just don't know how powerful what I'm doing is until you tell me. But I'm telling you now that for everyone standing up to be counted, right? Nigeria is doomed for. The guys in charge knows that. They are waiting for a time they will ask the world to forgive them the debt. But even if they forgive them the debt, how are they going to lift their people out of poverty when nothing in the last 21 years of democracy, nothing has been put in place to actually care for this 75% or 70% young people of the population of Nigeria? Nothing is planned for you. You have to figure it out. You have to find your way out of it. Poverty keeps escalating because that's what gives them power. You know what I mean now? So they will continue to borrow. But for those of you standing up for something right, maybe we can possibly help them break Nigeria to save lives. Breaking Nigeria to save lives should be your goal. Tell everybody, break up Nigeria to save lives. If they don't understand what you mean, tell them, everybody, Nigeria has already been broken. The southern governors have been telling everybody what's going to happen. The northern governors are telling everybody what is going to happen. It is now the north versus the south. So everybody is now trying to say, Nami get here, Nami get there. Everybody try to claim a space already. Nigeria is already divided. Is already broken. What we are trying to say is, what we are trying to do is that at least with these criminals who led us to this level of division, where we will never come back together again, we can do away with Nigeria. We can do away with them and their Nigeria, where us can grasp and grab our own destiny in our own hands by taking it away from them. How do you do that? Choose a cause. I choose to fight for Yoruba nation. What do you choose to fight for? Nigeria? Or? It's your choice. But the more we have on either side, the better we understand how far this journey is going to take. If more of you continue to pretend that you prefer Yoruba nation, the freedom that comes with you, being part of the type of government that rules you, being part of the system, the process that actually produces them, the system that is just and fair to you, that respects you as a citizen, the one that actually treats you like human being first, before whatever you choose to call yourself or whatever you choose to be identified as a human being first. Yes, a system that does that is possible, but people have to believe it. People have to want it. You can't have both of the world, right? You can't want Nigeria and you can't want Yoruba nation. You should have something in mind. And if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And as much as most of you, well, let me put it this way, standing for Nigeria is standing for nothing. You will find out later. And by the time you found out, right, it might be too late. So stand for something today. And whenever you choose that thing, don't let it be Nigeria. Not now. Break it up to save lives is the slogan. And if you don't believe it, it's up to you. As to my brothers and sisters from the East, my Biafran brothers and sisters, you don't know how inspirational you guys are. Sometimes I feel like it's because people just feel so jealous, like, what is wrong with these Biafrans? Now only Una. Why is it just Una? Everywhere Una. And you see, now so that they talk about people where people jealous. So, but some of you said they overdo them. They overdo this your inspirational personalities that you have brought upon so many people, so many minds all over the world. They've seen through your travails. They've seen through the inhuman treatment that has been meted at you for years, and that makes you the inspiration for those who have been suffering in silence for so long, pretending that they were better off when they are not, to now see that if they pretend that they are not facing what you are facing, by pretending that what is happening to you is not really happening, they are going to be next. And to that, right, you guys should keep it up. Don't fight yourselves. Yes, disagree. Disagree to agree to, that's normal. Family fights, and all of that. Don't bring yourselves down because you may not understand, right? I'm not spiritual. I've told people I am not. But I've got spiritual people around me who tell me things too. However, I can tell you this. What you have is bigger because even those who started this, majority of them are gone. But many of you are their offspring. You have their blood running in your vein. Something telling you it is the right thing to do. We need to stand for Biafra. but don't be violent about it, okay? Do not get yourself involved in any kind of group of people enforcing anything in Eastern Nigeria, okay? I told you then that unknown gunmen was a setup. Don't praise them. Don't support them. Don't defend them. Even if what they are doing to this agent of government in Nigeria are things you want to happen to them because of what they have done to you, to your brothers, to your loved ones, to your lives over there, right? They militarize your life and the rest of that. That shouldn't make you support anything called unknown gunmen, unknown this. You know yourselves. How then do you have to be, how do you would you allow them to set you up to make you defend something unknown and celebrate something unknown, right? I told you then, and I'm happy that many of those people you respect have come out to say the same thing. Unknown gunmen has nothing to do with the IPOB or ESN, okay? When ESN, Eastern Security Network, was launched, it was launched for the purpose of protecting the local farmers in Igbo land. Just the same way we were supposed to protect our own local farmers in Yoruba land. But many of them are at the mercy of the terrorists who invaded them without any media coverage at all. ESN was established to cover that gap. Since the Nigerian security agents, the Nigerian military, Nigerian police, they've abdicated their own responsibilities. People are now at the mercy of terrorists all across the country, right? So, IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, the organization led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and now they started Indigenous People. They started the Eastern Security Network to stop the invasion of their land by Fulani terrorists, right? Then suddenly they said unknown gunmen. Why is it that after they created ESN that we celebrated, we saw the images of everybody, we saw the volunteers, we saw people who came out to say we will defend our land. The moment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called, volunteer to defend their Igbo land, and we saw the thousands of these people who came out, young people, and we saw them in their training. But Nigerian government came out to tell you that they are being trained as a militia, they are being trained to come and fight war, and you believed them. These guys were deployed into the forest. We saw how they were going after some of these criminals as well, right? Then a couple of months later, they started their unknown gunmen, and many of you believe the propaganda. I told you, don't believe it. Because you have nothing unknown about the Biafrans and their struggle. Or do you know, well, maybe I don't know everything. Is there anything unknown about Biafran struggle? Even when Bokwari, the first time Bokwari met, the first time somebody asked Bokwari about Nnamdi Kanu, he couldn't say what Nnamdi Kanu did. He couldn't pinpoint how Nnamdi Kanu was a terrorist. He said he brought a radio to Nigeria. I'll share this with you as a reminder.
Mr. President, the State Security Service has consistently, since you came in, disobeyed court orders. I can mention Kade Are, I can mention Sambo Asuku has about 3 bails and is still being arrested. I can mention Patrick Bole Kemi. I can go on and on, Nnamdi Kanu of Biafra agitation. These people have legitimate bails from court, and then they're still being held. Are you not worried? And then, secondly, sir, why
we can only take one. I'm really sorry.
All right, sir.
We've got limited time. Yes, Mr. President.
Are you a lawyer? I'm a journalist, sir.
You want to be appointed lawyer then? Technically, if you see the type of atrocities those people committed, I'm very sorry to say this publicly, against the country. If they jump bail, if say the former president just wrote to the governor central bank and said, give 40 billion naira, 40 billion to so. And then he fills the accounting and you give him bail or you ask him to go and see his doctor in London. While you have 2 million people in IDPs, half of them they don't even know their parents. Which kind of country do you want to run? And the one we are calling Kanu, do you know he has 2 passports? One Nigerian, one British, and he came to this country without using any passport. Do you know he brought an equipment into this country, a sophisticated equipment, and was broadcasting for Radio Biafra? Which kind of government do you want to have?
But we wrote an editorial against it in Premium Times.
What?
Premium Times wrote editorial against his radio station and called on the federal government to stop that.
So he should be given bail to go away. There's a treasonable felony against him, and I hope the court will listen to the case.
That is Nnamdi Kanu's offense. So don't go out there and say because you are. They said his offense was bringing radio equipment to Nigeria, and they charged him for treasonable felony. Treasonable felony in a person we want overthrow government. Oh, treasonable. Buhari has been having nightmare of Nnamdi Kanu. From the first night he slept inside Aso Rock. And he's never been himself since then. It's been his complete nightmare. So there's nothing unknown about Biafrans. Don't join them to celebrate unknown killers called unknown gunmen, sponsored by the Nigerian government, Igbo politicians, and some of their thugs, political thugs, who are also Igbo brothers like you are, like yourself. All of them working in cahoots and all of them working as killers in the eastern Nigeria. And their media are doing the good job. Unknown gunmen. But the unknown gunmen that have the power to attack police station, unknown gunmen that have the power to attack prison, federal prison, unknown gunmen that have the power to attack military checkpoints. The same unknown gunmen have no power to fight those who came to arrest them. They go into people's homes, arrest innocent people on the street, and they parade them as arrested unknown gunmen, IPOB members. I told you all of this is like a setup. Don't join them. Don't defend them. And don't go out there to enforce anything on anybody. Don't go out there in the name of IPOB because you want to prove something. We will not take it. Everybody go and sit at home. You don't force anybody. The reason is this. If you are doing that, if you are caught, there are other people also who are IPOB members now coming after some of you who are just pure thugs. All right? And you will never commit any violence in the name of IPOB and think then people will come around and say, but you are not fighting for anybody if you attack your brothers. If you are not fighting for anybody, you are not fighting for Biafra if you burn your brothers' businesses, if you burn their trucks and says that they have to sit at home. Nobody is forcing anybody to sit at home this time around, okay? We need one another. And I'm saying this because when you do all those, what you are doing is this. You are setting yourselves up. Setting yourselves up for exactly what they want to happen, and they can go to their last phase of whatever they are planning. All right? And I hope you will listen to that. There is nothing violent about them, and I have studied them, I've followed them enough that you can take my word for it. All right? And for those things you are seeing today, every news you read out there are coming from the East, right? They are those coming from mostly from those who believe that they found that scapegoat. Before now, Nigeria used to profile the Igbos. We can't trust Igbos. We cannot trust Igbos. Be careful of Igbos. I'm saying this because that's a fact. Nigeria profiled them everywhere they go. And it is an unwritten code. So for the first time, the Igbo elites, they found people they can use as scapegoats so that they will be seen as true Nigerians. And they can say, no, now those ones be the Igbos where they cause problem. We love Nigeria. And that is why every atrocity going on in the eastern Nigeria as we speak, none of them is outside the control of all these eastern politicians. They are the ones behind it. They killed Dr. Akunyele, Professor Dora Akunyele's husband. They shot and killed him immediately. Their media said unknown gunmen. Immediately, one of the Akunyeles, after reading the media and hearing, he said, oh, IPOB killed my brother. Why? Because, yes, look at all of them. Anambra State election is ongoing right now. Assassination of political rivals is ongoing right now. But do you know who is easy to blame? IPOB. Very easy. But you will never ask yourself listen, start naming the names of those that they said have been killed by unknown gunmen. Put all of them together and see where is that link to make them become assassination targets. And what is IPOB going to prove killing Akunyele's husband? Like, what exactly is that going to prove? I mean, what? But common sense is not common in Nigeria. Their media drives it. And you see people on television, because you know what? Those who go on television to condemn and blame IPOB, they are Igbos themselves. So if an Igbo man goes on TV and says, yeah, this IPOB, this is what they are doing. If an Hausa and, a Fulani man says IPOB killed Dora Akunyele's husband, do you think you can change his mind on that? So I'm trying to tell you here that you are walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Nothing is going to happen to you. You're going to get to your destination, but don't play into their hands. Don't think your aggression, your bragging, your flexing on social media is just to massage your ego, to make you feel like you are powerful or what have you. Don't play into their hands. And I wish you good luck. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for your time this evening. We say, if they continue to borrow Nigeria money, we should at the same time continue to remind the lenders who are those who are going to pay the money. He later deleted it now because it's not true. Imagine somebody going on social media and said, IPOB, you killed my brother, or you killed my daddy, or you killed my uncle. Then you deleted it later because the media said, and the media already munched it. Oh, IPOB, because that's it. Some of you don't pay attention to these sequences, and you need to pay attention to all these factors. When they see somebody get killed, you look. When they said they killed this guy, what's this guy's name? This PDP guy in Imo State. What's that guy's name? Former PDP guy. When they killed him in Imo State, what is the connection between that guy and IPOB? What connection? What proof is he going to prove? So if IPOB want to do anything to prove anything, I still believe that it is that capacity to use their drone to send a missile into Aso Rock. That's the only thing that they can do. That everybody will say, this one, no, now IPOB do am, if they say that them do am. But look at all the connection to Gulak. God bless you. That Gulak guy. What is the connection between IPOB and Gulak? But the moment their media says unknown gunmen, their elite will say, you see this problem that this IPOB, this Nnamdi Kanu is causing in the East. Nnamdi Kanu is creating this other. They are doing it deliberately. Look at those Igbos that will talk. They will be APC. They will be PDP. And they will do, because what they are doing is that it is better we all of us just scapegoat to Nnamdi Kanu. Scapegoat him. Anything going on, right? Political assassination, Nnamdi Kanu. Armed robbery by political tout, IPOB, now them. First, just say unknown gunmen. Our people know say unknown gunmen in the East must be IPOB. And you believe that, and you call yourself smart. Very smart person. Man, you don't know what you're talking about. People don't used to tell me that. So people don't tell me that anymore. People used to say that to me. Man, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, listen, come on, it's a common sense thing. Yes, breaking news. Okay, fine. What is breaking about the news? Unknown gunmen killed Dr. Akunyele's husband. Wow, unknown gunmen. Why would unknown gunmen kill a very good man, according to the report I've read about him? Somebody who happened to be a doctor, who built a hospital, and he's been giving free medical services to so many people, and they know him. Why would IPOB kill him? To send which message? To who? To prove to who? But go on social media now. And when you look at those who are saying that, you will realize that they are Igbo men, Igbo women. And when you look further, you will realize that they are PDP members. Mainly PDP members. And once they say it, those who are not PDP and they are not from Igbo land, they will say, you see, have you read the post of Uchechukwu Obiora? That guy exposed everything about ESN, about Nnamdi Kanu. It wasn't Nnamdi Kanu. Now, Abdullahi Jabaru from Zamfara, that's their governor, also shut down internet, shut down network like Kaduna now. Their governor, the one that was paying bandits, is in America right now. if they do, see what is that thing they give to you when maternity leave, Abi? He is doing paternity leave in America. His wife gave birth in America. All their children, they are holding international passport. They are holding a passport of different countries. Bokwari's children, they are British. How many of you know that? Tifnumbu's children, some of his children, they are British. Do you know that? Bukola Saraki is British. His wife is British. Ibikunle Amosun is British. His wife is British. Benga Daniel is British. His wife is British. Their children are British. So Abdullahi Jafaru from Zamfara, that they are selling their property to go and pay ransom to those who kidnap his sisters. We now be talking about unknown gunmen, and Nnamdi Kanu, and IPOB, and you, smart man, you will go there and say, yeah, some of you are so ridiculous, right? You'll be going there like you are forming opinion under a ridiculous headline. Unknown gunmen killed this person, no connection. There is no IPOB member locked up in Owerri prison. No IPOB member was locked up in Owerri prison. So why would the IPOB or OESN go and break Owerri prison? But yes, they were there for 4 hours. Police or military or government house, so everywhere. They surrounded the prison, and nobody responded for 4 hours in Imo State. And they told you it was done by IPOB. I said, does that make any sense? Dumb people who love to claim smart. And that's one thing about Nigeria. Stupid people are very confident. I'm talking about ignorant and foolish people. They are very confident in Nigeria. While intelligent people are always in doubt. You know, you are intelligent, you think about something, you think about it logically, positively, negatively, and you look at it, you're like, I'm not sure. But foolish person, like those who are flying, those Nigerians, some of them are watching me right now. Very foolish people. They believe everything they tell them. They take it to like hook, line, and sinker. They don't think. Because they can't think. Unknown gunmen killing people. Killing people for what? Who are the unknown gunmen? The unknown gunmen are your repentant terrorists. And if you see all these political thugs in eastern Nigeria, do you think as you have Agbero in Lagos State, there are no Adin Dagbero? See, if you go to eastern Nigeria, go to those Aba, Onitsha, go to those their cities where their real businesses are taking place, you will see stronger, deadlier Agberos than your MC Olueron of Lagos. People that if your MC Olueron moved close, it would just be like, oh boy, this one mad. And these are the people who are working with politicians, controlling everywhere and there. So if they decided to use IPOB name to cause any havoc, if they are arrested, IPOB will deny them. Don't go out there and attack anybody just because you want to prove something. We want to prove something. We want to prove this and that. Don't go and attack people willingly. Igbo people, the Biafrans, when they say sit at home, they don't need your persuasion. They don't need your threats. They don't need your sweet talk or anything, whatever you want to say. They're going to sit at home. And those who are going to go out are going to go out. But guess what? It has always been more than 90% compliance across Igbo land. So why do you need to force anybody? You haven't forced anybody. The message is out there. So those who are going out there to attack people, they are not IPOB members. If you see them, arrest them. If you get government, tell the government to arrest them. If anybody come here to attack you or anywhere, arrest them. Don't let them set you up. I'm saying this again. Your election is coming up in Anambra. Andy Uba is running for office. Some of these rogues, PDP, they also want to come back there. Abga, Ojuku's party that betrayed Ojukwu, that Bianca said Abga betrayed her husband. Now they are asking her to come and campaign for them. She's not interested though in Anambra. If Bianca go Anambra to go and campaign, is that not an endorsement of whatever Abga has done under this Obiano for the past 8 years? Is that not an endorsement? She said they ridiculed and insulted her husband. So if Bianca go there now, they may kill her. and they will say IPOB killer. So if Bianca say, I'm not interested though, is that not to tell you that there's no election in Anambra? So what are you fighting for? PDP. They are telling you that Andy Uba should not be the governor. Your own Abga, Ojuku party. Is it different from what Andy Uba will do to you? Or is it different from what Opus or Dinjo is doing to them in Imo State? Yeah? In Anambra, where Obaino day. Now 500,000 naira be life of an average Anabrarian. If you are from Anambra, your life is just 500,000 naira. If they kill you, now 500,000 they go pay your family. So what worse is it? So those who are trying to blackmail IPOB, those are the guys they paid because they know how to use social media to sway. But you can't fight IPOB. You can't really fight these guys, though. Don't try it in your own interest. Anyway, I'll see you guys some other time, okay? I'm going to say good night. Princess, how are you tonight? I would have possibly take some calls, but not tonight. We'll do that some other time, okay? Thanks so much, everyone, for your time. And before you go, give me that, especially on Facebook, right? You need to leave that chat room, right? Before you can do anything. This place, all of you are typing your comment, right? Leave that chat room. Just leave live chat. Underneath it, click like under that video, okay? I'm going to see you tomorrow on Facebook. Thank you to every one of you who managed to join. Again, I'm going to see you tomorrow as well. When they borrow Nigeria money, they are selling your destiny. They are selling off your future. And when we talk about this future, some of you don't know that even being a Nigerian is pretty much like a life. Life don't rig you. It's like life is leading you by 4-0. I don't know if you understand that. I don't have time to break it down anyway. But as a Nigerian, once you are born, bam, inside Nigeria, and your mama, your papa be like my own mama, my papa, people they hustle for their own money. Nobody they give them free money. No free money to steal, no people to kill, to take money. They hustled for it. So you know what I'm talking about. So as them born you, life don't they lead you by 4-0. So if you are lucky, by the time you turn 30 or 40, if you are lucky or smart, you may don't get to that 4-3. So by the time you turn to 40, maybe you'll be like a 4-4 draw. If you are lucky, some people know they get one. Nigeria life will still add another one to it. It will be 5-0, 6-0. Some people they 8-0. They have given up. Those are the Lagos Abobakus. Those Oshogu Alimajiris. Those unboot slaves, obedient fools, sophisticated morons. The Buhari Deans, the Buhari Didernes, the Buhari Dinotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungos Yaris, the Unekaris. Life is leading many of them by 9-0, 10-0. They have given up. They just wait for the next election. Say, Baba, no, they collect money to vote. Baba, now our money, we will collect time. We will collect the money. We still say, Baba, for 4 years, they collect your money. Now our money for 4 years. As I say, 6-0, 7-0. When you tell them that let us break up Nigeria to get a better life, Baba, it's impossible. And here we go die. We die here. Here. Mayegun, we die here. Nobody they go anywhere. Those are the frustrated ones who believe that they are already live already. But if you manage to get to 4-4, now only few, just be like 5-4. Oh boy, you don't beat life. Oh, I don't better pass my neighbor. You are leading life. You don't buy small car. Then some will get luckier. 6-4, 7-4. And those ones, they very few. And let me tell you something. Yahoo Plus will not do that to you. It will not do that for you. Eating, what do you call it? Eating ladies sanitary pad will not make you get there. Stealing pants of young girls will not make you get there. Cutting off people's head will not make you get there. What will make you get there in the first place is to admit that Nigeria has been born, as you were born as a Nigerian, you have already been rigged. The only way to never make that the portion of your children is to make sure that before you give birth to your own child, you don't give birth to that child as a Nigerian. You either fight for Biafra, or to do a republic, or fight to become a Canadian. Japa, like many people are now Japaing now. And when I say Japa, I'm talking about before you give birth to any child. And if you have given birth to some child, they are enough for you to stand firm and fight for something. Stand for something. If you will listen to me. I'm sorry. I'll see you some other time. So good night, everybody. Stay safe and share this video. Like it. Thumb up. And I'll see you some other time. Good night.